I'm Sarah, Mike McKegg's daughter. I'm sick of hearing these stories, so now it's your turn. This is Oxford in America.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Oxford in America.
In our last episode, we conquered a long, straight stretch of roads in Oklahoma where we covered 540 miles in just 2 days. That brings our total 23-day distance traveled to about 3,500 miles, or 5,600 kilometers. In this episode, we enter our 9th state of the journey, Arkansas. While the rains from Oklahoma stayed with us, the roads we were traveling were about to make an abrupt change.
Coming out of Oklahoma on the straightest and flattest of roads, we popped into the Ozark mountain areas of Arkansas, and we went from straight flat to twisty turny uppy downy really quick.
Right, and the interesting thing about the Ozarks is they weren't created by the forces that created the Appalachians and the Rocky Mountains. They were carved by the glacier melt. And so the mountains are really close together. So there was a lot of up and downs and twists and turns, and it was pretty interesting.
Meandering down the TAT, the Trans-American Trail, and through the Ozarks, and we came middle of nowhere to this little town, a couple buildings, and then the coolest general store.
The town of Ozark boasts a population of just 43 people and features the Ozark General Store. The store was opened in the 1890s and claims to be the oldest store in continuous operation in the state of Arkansas. Located on the Trans-American Trail, the store is a popular stopping place for hikers, adventure motorcycle riders, and our Oxford team. In addition to fuel, the store offered a variety of snacks with a nod to nostalgia and some other quirky products. And no, I don't know what goes in the frog jam or what it pairs best with. We just left that to the locals. We hung around for a while and got a bite to eat and enjoyed a moment relaxing with the local cafe mascot.
That evening, we stopped in the town of Beebe, Arkansas.
This tiny town provided a few Oxford fans an opportunity to catch up with us and visit with the expedition. We were able to share some stories about our trip, and it was a lot of fun to hear some of the stories about their rovers and their own adventures.
The following morning, we decided to have breakfast at the Waffle House. Checked all the fluids, jumped in, Mickey started right up, and put my foot on the brake, and the pedal just kept going. Absolutely no brakes. And when we looked at the route for that morning, it was going to be back on the trail.
Yep, some more backcountry.
So we decided to risk it. There was absolutely no brakes.
I think we went a good 10-15 miles and back into the country.
Yeah.
And I remember stopping at the church, and we nosed in at the graveyard at the church, and it was, I don't know, an omen or a fitting or whatever you want to call it, but here we are trying to figure a fix to get some brakes back.
And there was no leaks, no obvious leaks anyway. And we ended up, so to keep rolling, we clamped off the front hoses.
Yeah.
Mike and I left Steve and Mark to their own devices. We knew that we weren't going to be much help to the repairs, and we didn't have any new swear words to share with them. So we took a stroll through the cemetery to see what stories it had to tell. Now, the church and the cemetery date back to the 1890s, and one of the things that we noticed about the gravestones is that several of them marked entire families that all died in close succession in 1918, from what we can only assume was from the last Spanish flu pandemic. It gave us cause to pause and reflect as our own 2020 expedition was traveling under the shadow of the COVID pandemic. It didn't take too long for Mark and Steve to get Mickey ready for the road, and it was time to head off. We had over 2,000 miles still to cover over the next 7 days if we expected to meet our goal of arriving at the Rover Owners Association of Virginia's Mid-Atlantic Rally. It was time to hit the trail. Even on half breaks, Mickey kept up and did just fine for the rest of the day. We can also say that on this journey, bad breaks never slowed us down. In our next episode, we cross the mighty Mississippi and meander into Memphis, Tennessee. We'll see you next time on Oxford in America.